Yeah, I just want to talk about these people online who are trying to discuss me when they're celebrities with millions, hundreds of millions, like I'm a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. If they see me as an inspiration because I lost everything I had through telling the truth, and I still tell the truth, even though evil people, even in my family, still get at me every day, then that's up to them. But what they need to remember when they're throwing stones from their rich little houses, you know, sitting down acting all high and mighty, is this: none of them have been through a life like I've been through and still kept God and the Bible close with them. Every time I went to prison, I changed men's lives for the better. I've got paperwork that shows that. I saved officers' lives from brothers attacking them, and saved brothers' lives at the same time, because the brothers knew me, respected me, and the officers did. That is a very rare trait. Do you understand? Where you can calm a situation down because you've been through so much stuff that you can literally relate to both sides, and you tell a brother, look, I'm not going to let you do life for killing an officer when the officer's pissed them off, and at the same time the officer after thanks you because an inmate was going to kill them. I've went through those experiences so many times in my life, being an inspiration to brothers inside, not having brothers come and put commissary on my books, having to work and grind out my money, like work in the prison yard for pennies and stack and save my money, go to school in prison, learn even more. I wasn't in there like doing whatever, and I was inspiring brothers to do the same. And it's the same thing on these streets. It's the same thing. The truth has always been with me. So all these people throwing stones at a man who just wants to see his children, do you know what? They must not really care about their children, because I hear a lot of them have many children out there, many baby mothers. They just throw them a paycheck and don't give a fuck about their children. So what's that saying to their children? Children are like seeds. They need to be planted, nurtured, and grown in the right way, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And a lot of our people have forgot that. They like to, you know, sit back and view people who have got less than they have, but have more heart, spirit, talent, and determination, and who's God's blessed, and then they want to talk about people like they really, really know the depth of hell that they've had to drag themselves out of, with keeping God with them all the time, to the point where they've been so tired. I've been so tired in the streets. I fell and God has picked me up. It's not just now I've been facing danger and nearly lost my life. That stuff has been happening to me since I was like a kid, for trying to save people's lives, no matter what color they were globally. You know, my grandma used to say something that stuck with me till now. The truth is an offense to many, but a lifesaver to few. And it's the truth. People will rather sit down and throw smear campaigns, but not mention a person's name, but direct all their hate at this person, just because a person is more effective than them, even if they've got less numbers, views, everything less. And that just goes to show you that money does not buy respect, and does not buy wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and does not buy a heart. God requires you to have a heart. The Bible says that you have to be like a child. Children are innocent. Children are innocent. And what have we got in the world today? A lot of children dying through lack of knowledge, through lack of true knowledge of their self, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And they're growing up and getting killed in these streets and throwing away their lives. Lots of different drugs, pill popping, all types of stuff, sexual promiscuity, all of that type of stuff. See, I'm not that type of man. I don't claim to be the hardest guy in the world because I don't have to be, but I will literally die for the truth and what's right. Because I've faced death so many times and God's literally picked me up and kept me walking. You know, I'm not a player or a cheater, but because I'm a real guy, chicks that are real tend to gravitate towards me when they realize how real I am. And now that I'm single, I don't really have to not gravitate towards a chick that gives me peace of mind, or a woman who is my twin flame and who knows how passionate I am about life. You know, I have mercy and forgiveness on even my enemies, so why wouldn't I have it on certain people who I love? The fact is, like, when you have someone who claims to be your father, comes into your life when he didn't know you or raise you, and you was warned about him, and then he takes over your phone in a time when your mum's passed away, everything you have has been stripped away from you just through trying to honestly work and through trying to, you know, run a business that basically is not even generating money like that, but is getting people's worldwide attention because you're telling the truth and doing it with style and fashion. People will get jealous of you. And maybe that's why I've been put in a position by my higher power to where I don't have to be like certain people out there or want like to be filthy rich or anything like that, because money can trap you. Too much money can trap you. You know, wealth goes deeper than cars, flashy stuff, all of that type of stuff. It goes to what can you give another person? What can you give them that they can take to carry forward through their life? What lessons can you teach them where they will literally remember how to get themselves out of hard times, hard situations, no matter how much odds are stacked against them? What can you give them, whether they're male or female? Hope, strength, courage, wisdom, knowledge and understanding, or nothing. Or you can give them temptation. You know, we're supposed to be a nation that's coming together in a time where there's so much odds stacked against us, the main majority, the public, every day, by mainly people we don't even see. You know, and I'm just glad that God's given me the wisdom, knowledge and understanding and the self-fortitude to navigate through it. But what I do remember is the same people that put, if you want to call him Jesus Christ, Yeshua, or Yeshua HaMashiach, to death, was exactly his own people. See, a lot of people want to turn around and blame like white people for what we've gone through. And yes, they conquered us, but the truth is we were conquering them for thousands of years before they even conquered us. We had them as slaves, all of that too, which I was going to release, and I'm going to release more information on. So when people want to point the fingers and talk about history when they don't even understand history, do you understand? God does everything in a mysterious way by his design. When it says he created evil and it came down through our bloodlines, it did exactly that. The first two brothers that killed each other were black. The Messiah was killed by a native Seminole Hebrew man, put to death. Pontius Pilate believed in him. He let him go. He told the people to vote. You could say that's where a voting system came from. And what does his own people vote to do? Have him hung and lynched from a tree and nailed to a tree, crucified to a tree. Don't believe it? You can read the book of Acts, or you can watch the old movie Conan from the 1980s with the serpent. When he screams crucify him, what do? They basically nail him to a tree. The only thing is, it was too graphic for them to put a rope around his neck. But they've been doing seminal kinds like that all over Asia, all over America, all over for a very long time. And before that, we were doing even worse stuff to them. You had the Persians and our seminal kinds. We would do wrong to each other. So for me, when you hear your own brothers pointing the finger at you, we need to stop doing that. We need to cultivate our culture, protect our men who know better than us, uplift our kids who don't know better than us, stand shoulder to shoulder with our women who are ready to fight for us. Do you know how beautiful it was, even in the worst days of our like transcendence into what we have today, like through the 60s, the 50s, even though we were facing lynchings, segregation and everything, you've got pictures of that are iconic of women literally standing before guns for their men, kids fighting for their fathers, fathers fighting for their family, brothers even fighting for brothers that they didn't like necessarily. You know, I'm not a man who could ever forget my children. God forbid I have a child with a next woman, which I might do. I can still have children. Was she like me to basically turn a blind eye on her? It's just like there was a black lady talking about men with multiple baby mothers and acting like we just trick these women and pop out these babies. That's not the case. A lot of women will fall in love with a man and then get jealous of the man when they find out he's too real, because they're like, oh, he's so real, everything gravitates towards his force field. All of that's got to stop, sisters. And the same thing with brothers, but brothers just do it in a hateful way. So do sisters, but it's more like they'll try to keep you, stifle you, snuff you out, and all of that type of stuff. Constantly arguing, bickering, all of that. That's why I walked away from all of my last relationships with a smile on my face and felt free. You're supposed to disagree with your partner, yes, but it's supposed to be in love. If you can't talk to somebody, then there's no point in you being with that person. The only thing to fear in life is fear itself. You know? And I'd rather stand up for my rights, stand up for what I do, what I've built and cultivated inside myself through keeping my faith, my personal religion, how I do things, than have somebody try to bully me or tell me what to do, or even treat me like I'm less than a man simply because I'm not matching up to their standards or moving at their pace, when I'm moving a lot quicker than their pace, in spirit and in truth, mentally, physically and spiritually. We need to wake up, people. We need to wake up. You know? Inspire and teach each other, instead of trying to tear each other down. Because when we tear each other down, it's easy to divide and conquer us. If you're going through pressure, you hate someone throws money at you, what are you going to do? You're going to risk your freedom just to get at that person, when you've already got money, or you've already got comfortability. This is what keeps us always losing. losing in life and losing our lives and everything else. So at the end of the day, it's up to us individually. It's up to us. You know, I pray for everybody every day because I feel for everybody every day, but I have to deal with feeling for my children as well. All of my children and other people's children. Every time I see a sick child, every time I see a child that's going through stuff, or an abused child, even before I had my children, I was born with empathetic traits. So that stuff literally drains you because it makes you feel physically sick to your stomach. And you have to literally grow with a trait like that to learn how to manage it. You know? Every day is a blessing, and we need to take it like that and try to feed each other love and knowledge. And if I can't show your real pain, there's no point in me showing you guys love. Why? Because for every true lover out there, there's always a hater who's always going to try to kill him. So you've got to have balance. The creator is not all love. Everything that we are was created out of chaos. Chaos. Volcanoes erupting. Matter being smashed together. All types of stuff. That makes beautiful us. So we've got to learn balance and comfort in that balance. I pray nothing but blessings for all of y'all and your kids. Nothing but blessings for you. And I hope you do the same for me.